Good evening, everybody. So, I am Ishwarya Singh here for your host for today's webinar. Before starting and moving forward, I would like, I would really appreciate, and I need a help from you all that if I'm audible to, let's just check. Can you guys please help me if am I audible? Okay. Hi, Lavi. Uh, okay. So, guys, am I audible? Can somebody confirm? Thank you so much, Manohar. Thank you so much, Nikhil. So, how are you guys? How is your day going? It's 8. So, how did your day go? We can discuss this, right? Yeah. So, let's have some chit chat before starting the webinar. Right. Hi, everybody. Yes, thank you so much. So, I hope that your day went well. And our today's session is a session about interview experiences, as you all know. And today we have with us Swapnil Kant, and who has just been placed with Adrosonic as an R&I engineer. So you all. Yes, hello everybody. So you all are aware of the fact that why we are conducting these interview experience webinar, and this is probably we in every webinar we are trying to give you more information, more filtered information, and we are trying our best to make it more insightful for you. So let's start with today's session of webinar, and I'll just add Mr. Swapnil Kant with us so that we can begin our webinar. So, hi Swapnil, how are you?
Hi, Aishwarya. I'm fine. How are you?
I am good too. So, how is the day going? How did it go?
It's going fine. It's going very nice. So I had a nice day today with all those working and learning as well. So it was fine day.
Oh, great. So, Swapnil, let's begin. We are really thankful to have you here. We are really obliged here. So let's begin our today's session. Before beginning with everything, we want you to just describe, just tell about yourself. That a brief about you and about your college.
Hello everyone. I'm Swapnil and I'm currently a final year postgrad student at BIT-Mesra. And I've been doing a course in 5 years, masters in mathematics and computing. And currently I'm in my last semester. So basically my course focuses mainly on mathematics and computer science both, majorly covering mathematics, and I am from BIT Mesra, and my college is
Hmm.
located in Ranchi. Most of you must be knowing about it. And also, this was a 5 years course which I had, and it has been amazing journey through these 5 years. And I started my college in 2016, and whole this 5 years has been, you can say a whole load journey of ups and downs. So it was quite
Yeah.
good for me. I experienced many things. I learned many things through my journey. So, and my college has been helping me till now. And all my professors, I would like to thank everyone who has helped me to,
Wow.
get through this journey.
Great, perfect. Moving on to our next question is that we want to know that how did you develop an interest in coding and programming? So we are a community of coders and programmers. We want to know that how did you develop your interest in the same thing?
Yeah, during my first year, I was a bit confused, like what career path I should follow particularly. And I was a lot confused. Like I was seeing my seniors and my friends, they already decided that what they wanted to do. Some wanted to go for data analysis, or some wanted to go for machine learning, and some wanted to go for higher studies as well through the starting. So it was like bit confusing for me to figure out what I need to do. But with the help of my brother, he mentored me a lot about what should
Okay.
you follow and how you should proceed. So with the guidance of my brother, I have been doing great, and he has always been guiding me since my first year. He's currently a software developer at Flipkart, and he has
Okay.
graduated from IT Patna in computer science. So he has helped me through this whole journey. Like he was very particular, like if you want to go into these roles, then what kind of things you want to do. Like he said, giving his
Right.
example that I am particularly doing this in this particular company. So if you like this work, you can explore more on it, and you can just explore the things, right? And if you like to do, if you want to go through this path, then he mentored me through that. He
Right.
just told me that the first thing you need to go on with work, that was learn a basic programming language first, and then you should go for data structures and algorithms, because problem solving is the key to every, you can say, like every career
Right.
path. That is the most basic thing you need to cover, right? So he has helped me a lot to choose the career path of software developer. And I'm very thankful to him, of course, because if you get a guidance of any senior in the starting, your journey becomes bit simpler, right? So he
Yes.
has been guiding. So he was my inspiration to go in this field, and I'm really enjoying it.
Perfect, perfect. So, okay. So, this was your phase from your college when you started developing the interest in your
Definitely.
coding and programming.
Yeah.
What was your initial learning cycle? So, that you when did you develop an inclination towards
Mhm.
computer science, and then when you decided that okay, then you want to do this in your life. So, how
So,
about that?
yeah. So particularly when I started to code, like first website which I visited was Hacker Rank, of course. And then while solving questions in that website, I could see that I had only limited knowledge in the starting, right? So my brother suggested that you can read about the free articles which are present in Geeks for Geeks website, because of course that are much lot helpful. You can select a particular programming language, you can read what are the basic concepts, or what are the complex concepts on that, and you can slowly learn to develop a habit to write codes. Because as soon as you don't do hands on, it is very difficult for you to figure out like what is happening with your code, or what exactly solution you want to give, right? So approaching any problem in the starting, I would suggest everyone, like what I went through was I couldn't figure out what would be the exact approach to go or proceed a particular problem statement, right? So figuring out after that, I started to think like what exactly I can use. So there came the idea
Okay.
that, oh no, I don't know anything about data structures. So yes,
Yeah.
you particularly need to understand what are arrays, what are linked lists, what are trees, right? And then you can solve a particular question, right? You can just move on, and you can look upon that, yes, I need to use this particular data type, or this particular, whether it is stack or whether it is queue. And initially you could develop a idea to write codes, right? So that was the thing where I initially started. I, of course, suffered a lot of problems in the starting. Like I didn't know what this piece of a line of code, what it said exactly, right? So straight away
Yeah.
when you start reading code, that is the most difficult thing which you face, right? So yes, starting with programming language is a good thing to go on. I did the same, and then slowly I learned the concepts of data structures. Then the algorithms came, and yeah, this way when I started to solve many problems in competitive websites, including Geeks for Geeks or Hacker Earth or Hacker and Beat any. So I started to develop habit to write code, and then in after that it was a bit clear that what I need to exactly do and how I need to plan my things to go on. So this was the
Right.
particularly how I started my initial.
Perfect. So now, our viewers would like to know that how did you get to know about the opening in Adrosonic?
So my campus placement committee, of course, helped me in this, and my college.
Okay.
Like this placement was completely on campus, and I got a
Okay.
chance to interview with Adrosonic. So it was a good experience. So particularly talking how I got to know about this opening was through the portal, through my campus portal, and of course I interacted with my seniors and got an idea
Okay.
that how the recruitment process for Adrosonic goes. So this was the basic workflow which I got to know from my seniors and from my friends who were in placement committee. They helped me a lot to know about more about company. And also, initially I read about the company from Glassdoor or other portals. This is a good practice I
Okay.
would suggest for anyone if they are interviewing.
Okay. Now, this is a thing that everybody should jot down who all are viewing this webinar. That this is something different that we are hearing right now. That most probably we discussed that if the placement was off campus or on campus. So there is a off camp. If their placement is off campus, then we have a lot to discuss. And if there is this is on campus, so there's just one liners. But this is something really informative that you could research about it and research about
Yeah.
it through various platforms and with your seniors as well, the particular company, and then you can you place it for the interview. That's really great. Thank you so much for that. So moving on to the next question is that what topics did you focus during your third and fourth year
So
while
basically,
preparing?
so basically, when I moved to my third year, I thought that I have done a bit of data structures and algorithms and solved a decent amount of questions, right? Of course, they were not sufficient because you cannot predict that how how long you have to study these topics or how far you need to know on this. It is a continuous it is a continuous process. You need to learn, and you need to practice. So when I approached my third year, basically I focused on the computer science fundamentals, right, which were also
Yeah.
important and asked in interviews, such as computer networks, operating systems, database management systems, SQL, NoSQL, knowledge about different databases. So particularly talking about third year, I focused on these subjects, and when I moved to my fourth year, I got to know that when I'm applying through the portal of my college, there are many companies who focus on aptitude questions as well, apart from the coding
Right.
and algorithms. So I and also with the help of my some friends, they guided me and told that you need to solve some questions to this particular website from this particular website, or you need to follow these books. Like Arun Sinha book is very good when you go for aptitude questions, right? So
Okay.
in fourth year, I initially started to focus on these things, and then I planned that yes, when I am going through these logical questions and aptitude questions, so it is also, you can consider a part of problem solving, right? If you are good in
Hmm.
problem solving, and if you consider yourself that you are a good coder or you are a good problem solver, then you must also have a good focus on these logical and aptitude questions, right?
Right.
These also compromise good in comprises of a good amount of questions, and they help you know that how you should be good in your and fast also in your mathematical calculations, right? So
Yeah.
fourth year I focused on these topics, and third year was my CS fundamentals, which I learned. And also I made a good amount of notes on that, because after you study some subject, particularly talking about me, I easily forget it. So I just thought to jot down it in a piece of paper or keep notes about it. So that helped me a lot with
Okay.
preparation.
So some personal tips as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So okay. Now we just as you have already, so we want to know about something for about ourselves as, also, that
Mhm.
how did Geeks for Geeks help you in your journey of learning?
The best thing about Geeks for Geeks is that you have a lot of free resources, free articles, and free tutorials as well. So
Yeah.
that thing has helped me a lot to plan my study, and also plan that what I need to work upon, and also in a fixed interval of time. It's not like that I'm studying a particular topic in Geeks for Geeks and I'm giving it 5 days, 6 days. But yeah, completing it within a given time frame helps a lot. And of course, I would tell that go through the articles. They are amazing, and they are absolutely free. The best thing is this: anyone can have access to those. You can just read and read, and you can also share your views on the comments, like what if you have any optimized solution, or if you're thinking of something else, you can just share with the community there. So it has helped me in that way. And also all the CS fundamentals which I covered was entirely from the Geeks for Geeks platform. And in my interviews, I would honestly say that nothing was asked more than that. It was within that whole article which I
Wow.
studied. Yeah.
Wow. That's
So
nice.
this was a thing which Geeks for Geeks helped me a lot in this, and yeah, it has been nice to read
We
those
are
articles.
glad that we are a part of your learning journey. So thank you so much for that. So moving on to our next question is that we want to know that how many rounds were there in your Adrosonic interview?
It comprises of basically 5 rounds. The first round was basically the aptitude questions, logical reasoning questions which were asked,
Okay.
and there were a bit of multiple psychometric test as well. And after the aptitude round, there was a GD round. where we were given a topic on to discuss. Like my particular topic was what are the demerits and merits of social media. So that was my particular topic which I remember. Yes. And
Okay.
after GD, we were given a few psychometric tests. These were psychometric tests were obviously non-elimination round. They just needed to
Okay.
check your thought process, like in particular situation, how you react or how you give solutions on that, and how you plan your way, right? And after that,
Right.
it was basically there was an interview round, technical interview, and
Hmm.
after that there was an HR round, right? Like technical and HR were in one round only. In technical
Okay.
round, I was asked questions related to DBMS or SQL, NoSQL, data structures, a bit of data structures. Algorithms were the main thing which were focused. I was asked spanning
Okay.
tree algorithms as well, and sorting algorithms, how it works. I just knew a new thing about companies hiring. The thing was that they mainly focused on your approach. Like they don't want the complete solution. They just need that how you proceed a particular question, right? If you also don't know a particular question, you should like at least give the recruiter a hint, like you are thinking this way or you're planning to proceed to this question in a particular way, right? So these
Okay.
things help a recruiter to understand actually that okay, you are thinking a solution to it. Of course, we it is not necessary that we already know the solution of a particular problem, right? That is the
Hmm.
unique thing about problem solving, that you never know that how you will be solving these questions. All this comes up with lots of practice, and you can just uh, think on your mind that I will be
Yeah.
proceeding this way, and I should reach to the solution if I go through this path, particularly this. If I follow this path, then I should reach the final solution. Maybe
Right.
tutors are very helpful in this fact that they help you reach to the final solution. They will be giving you hints, lot of hints, like okay, if you're thinking of this, you can just proceed with what I'm saying, like think in a different way. They can just guide you, right? So this is the best thing about the recruiters in good companies when you interview. So that
Okay.
was which happened with me, and I was also helped in some questions, or I also proceeded to the final solution as well. So it was basically mainly focused on algorithms and your logical thinking, and what are your knowledge about the database. And also I would say in this round was particularly also about your resume. So it is very important to
Okay.
maintain a good resume. I had a couple of internships in my resume, so I was also asked about that, like what was your work
Hmm.
and how you executed the work, and how what was your learnings. Mainly company focuses on that what you have learned through your internships. They will ask you that whatever the work you have done, but they are more interested to know that what have you learned through this internship, right? So I
Okay.
was good enough to explain those points on my resume, and this was basically an HR round, was basically about my background, and if I would be given a complex problem to solve, how will I tackle those situations, how will I reach to the solution, right? Managing the team and going through all the work in the company, so to maintain a good work life balance. So it was a good interview round, the technical and the HR, and then finally the results came, and this was the whole interview round which I went through.
Perfect, perfect. So, you've mentioned about the resume. So, we want to take that particular thing a
Mhm.
bit more elaborated. We want to
Mhm.
elaborate it more. So, we want to discuss about two things in the resume, which is your internship
Mhm.
and your projects. So, let's start
Yes.
with projects first.
Okay.
So, we want to know that is there any significant role of projects in the resume? It is important to have. Is it important to at least have one? And how was your experience regarding the same? That how did if you have included a project in that in your resume, then how did the interviewer approach you regarding the same? So please tell us about it.
Yeah. So in resume, I would particularly say that you need to have some good projects, because while you are in college, no one expects that you would be a professional in everything, like in whatever field you choose, be it a software development, be it data analysis, or be it machine learning, anything. So the
Okay.
basic thing which proves your skill is your projects, right? Because of course you are in a college and you are still learning things, so no company will provide you an internship directly without
Yeah.
having any good points or any good projects in your resume, right? So to
Right.
prove your skills initially, you just need to have good projects in your resume, right? And what are these projects? These can be anything, like anything what you're thinking to create. Suppose if I think I would create a social media application as Facebook works, right? Or any other platform, so just create it. It's many students would think that this project idea has already been created, many have done projects, so why should I do? Will it be out of the box? Yes, it will definitely be, because you are the creator of your own project and you must be knowing about it completely, right? You can add
Yeah.
many extra features, you can work on new, new features which you can add, uh, taking respect of the users, like what users would love to go through if you have a particular social media application, right? So you just need to jot down the points and you just what should be unique in my project, right? Maybe the
Okay.
topic should not be unique, but your idea and your implementation should be unique. That is the main thing which company focuses on. And they will obviously ask you questions on this. If you have some project, they can dig it, like they will dig those concepts and they'll ask you a hell lot of amount of questions, like, okay, if I do this particular change in this function of piece of code what you have written in a project, so what will it happen?
Right.
So you just need to know the ins and out of your project completely. So it is important to keep good amount of project. Not, you don't need to have 10 projects, 15 projects. You just can have one or two or a couple, and you can just explain it in a good way, because at last what is your presentation, that matters a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, what should be the decent number minimum? You saying this two, three projects are good for your
Yeah,
resume,
yeah,
but you should have the deep knowledge about it. You must have worked
exactly.
on it so that
Yeah,
when the interviewer dig into the
yeah,
project,
yeah.
you are
You can
able to
explain
answer.
those points, right? And also one
Yeah.
more point I would like to add, like as I participated in Smart India Hackathon, this last year. So you can also, create your resume, create a strong resume by participating in these hackathons, right? Because these hackathons mainly focuses on how you work in teams. Because in companies you won't be working alone, you would be working in teams, and you should have a good, command over your leadership skills, and you should be good at managing teams as well, because that also counts. And taking these factors, hackathons are very good for a student in college to participate at.
Okay.
So they also create a good they also add a good weightage to your resume. Yeah,
Okay. So participating in hackathon, another point to jot down,
exactly,
that it's important. It adds a value to your resume, basically.
exactly.
That's great. Okay. And about your internship, something about your internship. So, where was it, and how did it go while you were interviewing? So,
Yeah.
what importance does it play in that?
So previously, last year only, I interned with NRR as a software developer intern, backend intern there. So
Okay.
there, NRR is a healthcare company. They are focusing mostly on mental health of an user. So there are many users using those that app, and I was a part of the engineering team where I, designed various algorithms in the backend to, reduce the turnaround time of the server and the front end for the clients, and to make that app much, faster for users to use it. And that experience has helped me a lot, to work in teams, because my prime focus have always been on working with startups. This is because I
Okay.
get to know a lot about it, right? Because when you work in startups, you get to work in teams, you get to work in, uh, your work counts a little faster. Like as compared to big companies, what work you do, there may be any changes, or there may be recognition to a particular project when you are a senior developer. But in startups,
Hmm.
what it happens that while you are an intern, your work counts, and you can contribute, you can learn in a faster rate. Because in startups, the thing which I love the most is that you are given a good amount of work. So take this positively. This is because you can get to learn a lot while working on those particular features. Working on small features as well can teach you a lot. So I NRR is also in startup, and I have worked on it, and it was a very good experience. And currently also I'm working as a 6 month intern at Volcus Technologies. They have a product called Fasal. So it is working in agri-tech, and I'm having a great experience there. So my prime focus have always been in working in startups, because they
Yeah,
help you to,
that's
yeah, they
true.
teach you to
I
what to
personally
do.
feel the same.
exactly.
Yeah, because with
Work in teams and
internships with
yeah,
good companies, big companies has their own merits, and working with
exactly.
startup has their own merits
Yeah,
because you are involved at a very basic level as well, base levels,
exactly.
and involved in
Yeah,
every decision at
absolutely.
every step. You are not doing your particular work, but also
Yes.
the team, matlab the
Yeah,
teamwork is visible there basically. The
exactly.
major
And
team, because
you
all
are
the teams are.
yeah, and you get to know, apart, like suppose if you are in engineering team, so your knowledge is not only limited to your team, but to get to work with other teams and what those teams are doing exactly. Like you can, it's a whole new experience while working startup. You can learn a lot in a short interval of time. I must say this, and I never regret this. This thing that I have been working for startups. I am really enjoying it, and I'm enjoying in my present internship as well. So it has been a
We
great
can feel
journey.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Swapnil, please suggest some advice to the students who are appearing for interviews, who will be appearing for the interviews in the coming placement season, maybe next year, maybe next to next year. To
Yeah.
this will be the advice for your juniors.
Yeah. So I would particularly advise them that prepare a lot. Like you should be 100% confident on your preparation. Like leave others what they're doing. Just focus on yourself and just see that how much things you need to learn more, and how much questions you need to practice on a particular, say it, any algorithm questions, data structures question, or any logical or aptitude questions. You just need to be like flawless. You just need to be very good on those things, and make sure that you have prepared a lot on this. Maybe, yeah, rejections are bound to come, right? Initial days of my college also, I experienced a lot of rejections when I applied for internships. I was rejected because of course I was in second year or third year, like, and I lacked some amount of knowledge, so that rejections would come. Even in final year also I was rejected in before companies as well, before Adrosonic, right? So rejections will come, but you just need to prepare yourself for the worst. Like you just need to have a,
Yeah.
also I would say that just keep a backup, like if suppose this doesn't works, so what would be your plan B, right? So work on that as well, and how that can build up. This is because when you do good internships, like internships in some companies, in good companies, or whether in startups, just maintain a good connection with your teammates or your the companies where you have interviewed, because at last they would also help you a lot when you have a plan B. So that is the major plan B. If it doesn't works out in campus placement or other off campus where you are applying, so always keep
Hmm.
plan for yourself, and never feel disheartened that you have been rejected. I personally felt, it was very worse for me while I was rejected by the first company, and I thought that I need to do, like everyone is getting placed and everyone is so happy, but I just have had faith on myself, and
Everybody goes.
I just started to prepare in a more you know good way, and my friends and my family also motivated me a lot in this, and it was great. Like this whole placement season has been great. Like it was
So
nice.
you have somewhere answered our questions that how do you keep yourself motivated?
Yeah.
So yeah, so you have given that answer as well
Yeah.
for to everybody, that how did you face your times when you were feeling low during this interview
Yeah.
process? So yeah, that's
I would
great.
also, I would add a point that whenever you feel that you are not able to study or you don't feel like doing anything, so I would say that don't work on it completely. Like give yourself a break, because that helps a lot, and
Yes,
too much, you can
it does.
keep yourself motivated like by thinking less. Because yeah, there is always an option. There's nothing like that if you have been rejected or if things don't work out, you are useless or you cannot do anything. Of course, if you keep yourself motivated, and if you think that uh, you have to do something great in life and you have to grow, because obviously I have also not done something very amazing. Like I need to work a lot in my life, and I know that in which path I need to grow, right? And I need to work
Right.
on that. So always feel motivated, and whatever you feel good, just do it. Maybe anything, like apart from studies, anything, whatever is your hobbies, so just do it. So I would say that these things only would keep you motivated in bad times.
Perfect, perfect. So, what do you think, Swapnil? This is a tricky question. Have you ever faced any face-to-face interview?
No, like
You know.
previously also, yeah, this was due to COVID. Our placement season was whole virtual, so I interviewed from my home itself. And also previously, while I applied for internships before, so that was also remote. Like I interviewed through Skype or through Google Meet. So everything till now it has been virtual for me. I have never been in face to face interview. So that is, that thing has also advantage to it, right? Because while you are interviewing face to face, you feel the heat. Actually, you feel the heat. Like you get like more concentrated on what things have been asked, or sometimes we also get nervous, of course, even in be it uh, virtual or be it face to face. But yeah, both have their own advantages and disadvantages, particularly say.
Right. Um, Perfect, perfect. So moving on to the next. Oh, so cool. Moving on to the next question. We want to know, some our viewers would like to know that about some tips to make your resume stand out, because everybody has their own tips and tricks to make their resume perfect. So we want to
We
know
want to
what were your tips and tricks to it.
So basically, I would suggest that I'm assuming that a particular student is in his third year, right? So when it comes to third year, you start applying for internships, right? So while you are
Right.
applying for internship, keep in mind that your resume should not be more than one page. This is the basic thing.
Basic, yeah.
I- yeah, which I got to know through many HRs. Like my cousin sister is also an HR, so she also told me that just keep a one-page resume because that will help. And otherwise, because what companies do, like if you have a lot number of pages to your resume, if you add it, so it takes time to completely understand, and they also don't have time for that because they get a hell lot of
Okay.
resume particular day, right?
Hmm.
And also the few things which you must focus in your resume should be what are your projects you have been working on, because it is a bit hard, but you need to work on the thing that what you want to actually do after your college and in which path you want to actually go, be it anything, software development or any other thing, right? Because if you figure out that, then only you will be able to plan your whole journey. Because if
Right.
suppose I think that I want to go in analyst position, right? And
Hmm.
if I start doing projects on node.js or something, I would develop any application, so that won't be in that particular track, right? So for data analysis, you just need to have a good knowledge about all those data sets, data science, and everything. So keep your resume stuck
Correct.
to what you want to do, right? This is the first thing. If you want to go for software development, create good projects on web development, app development, right? And if you want to go for machine learning, then you can create some models, or you can show that whatever models you have built up, and how it is working in a particular application, what is its accuracy and all, right? So projects help you a lot. So projects must be good in resume. Second thing,
Okay.
uh, if you are in your third year, I would suggest you that do an unpaid internship in second year, because that helps a lot. Because
Okay.
everyone thinks,
How?
yeah, I'm explaining that. Like everyone thinks that if it is an internship, I should get paid. But if you are in
Yes.
second year and if you want to add something to your resume, that you have worked in teams or you have worked in a particular thing, right? So of course you are in second year, you don't have much knowledge, and any company would, I doubt that any company would risk that, okay, I'll pay him and I'll make him an intern.
Oh,
So
that way. Yes.
exactly. And if
Clever
it is,
move.
yeah, I mean, it is not in that way, don't get disheartened, just do an unpaid. Because I did an internship in Bengaluru in my second year, and that was completely unpaid. I did my
Okay.
job, and also I learned few things. The job was also, I guess, not completed fully by me. There was some errors on that, but yes, I learned a lot from that internship, like how I need to what should be my strategy, how should I work in team, how should I write a particular code, how should be, because while you are in software development, your writing behavior of your code matters a lot, because you just need to be great at mentioning what all features you have added or how these features works. So these small things play a very important role in your resume, right? So just do it. Any internship, just do in your particular field, be it paid, unpaid, anything, because that particular thing will add a lot amount of weightage to your resume, right? So if you have done with unpaid internship, mention it. And some people, what they do in resume, that they just mention their role, that what they have particularly worked on, right? They don't
Okay.
mention that what are the features or what are the things they have made changes to the code base or to any application. Like, what is your contribution? You must
Hmm.
need to, jot those points and keep it in your resume. Because if you simply write that you have done a software development internship in any company, so that won't
Hmm.
help, because the recruiter won't know that what exactly features you have worked on, right? Or what exactly things you have worked on. So mentioning those things in bullet points would help a lot for a recruiter to understand that, okay, what particular field you should be given internship upon, right?
Hmm.
So it helps the recruiter and it helps you as well to get an internship, and for him or her to select a good candidate for this role, for any particular role, right? So
Yeah.
yes, these things, and apart from these things, I would say that do a lot of extracurricular activities as well in your college. This thing I regret a bit, because my friends have been doing great in dramatic society, some have been doing great in technical clubs. So yes, I was a
Okay.
I have also conducted a particular, technical workshop from Progate in my college, but that was while I was in my fourth year, like starting of fourth year or end of third year, right? But if
Okay.
you mention your extracurricular activities, like you have been participated through these events and you have won the prize, so that helps you are the recruiter also know that, okay, you have a good leadership skills, right? Because that also matters a lot. So do good extracurricular activities in
Yes.
your
Yes.
college and
Absolutely right.
mention. Yeah,
Yes.
that should not be a long one, but yes, a short one, like what particularly you have done. So taking a whole resume, you just need to mention your projects, what have you done, and
Hmm.
what are your internship, be it any basic, paid, unpaid, that doesn't matter, just add it. And add it in a bullet point wise, which would help the recruiter know that what exactly you want to work for now, and what you have been working in your previous internship, right? And also the extracurricular activities, which adds a lot of weightage to your resume, to know that you know how to work in teams. And you have, it's not about always studies, right?
Yes.
Anyone wants to be you good in any other fields as well, suppose extracurricular, be it sports, be it dramatics, be it anything. So these are the points which you must focus. And of course, the company would look about your background, so you must mention your college name, your current GPA, and your particular things what you have worked on. And adding a lot of coding profiles to your resume, I don't think that is a good practice. You just need to add one or two, not more, where you have a good ranking
Okay.
or where you have participated a lot of contest on. So yeah, that also counts a great weightage on that. Yes.
Perfect. Now we'll move to the Q&A session. So
Mhm.
let's see if somebody wants to ask you something. So guys, if you have any doubt and want to ask something from Swapnil regarding your interview preparations, you can drop in the comments. Mm, there was this comment I saw. Wait. Yeah. So okay, this might be, so there's like oh, so there were rejections in your journey. There
Yeah.
were or were not, because people are asking that were there any rejection and how many rejections were there.
I got rejected in Deloitte. Like, Deloitte came before my company Adrosonic came, right? So I was
Right.
rejected. So it was basically uh, like I felt disheartened, because Deloitte is a good company, right? And I wanted to work on it, like
Hmm.
as I heard from my seniors and from other persons.
Yes.
So I felt a little disheartened that, okay, I have just started my preparation and I'm just being rejected. So it was very quick, right? Like, it seemed that the company which came, the first company which came, I got rejected in the first itself. And you would be amazed to know that I was rejected in the first round itself. Which was an aptitude round. So it was, that was the rejection which I faced. And before
So
that, while applying to other internships off campus, so that was to endless rejections. I suppose I applied in 50 plus good startups, and I just got an chance to interview in one or two. In that also I got, and that also got cancelled due to COVID. So I was like,
That's the
okay,
motivation our viewers need. That out of the
yeah,
facing so
exactly.
many rejections, you are here with good placement. So yes,
Yeah,
this is the answer to you, Miss Prince, Mr. Prince. So now, move on to next question is this Priyam Single for placement, which TSA are important.
I
Uh,
would say that, yeah, I would say while you are preparing for CS subjects, so of course data structures and algorithms are very the first thing which you need to prepare. Like particularly talking about the DSA, it would be like you just need to practice a lot of questions on everything, be it a small topic such as arrays. Of course, array is a big topic when you relate to when mix questions related to other concepts as well. So array, linked
okay,
list, stack queues, graphs. Graphs are particularly asked in big tech companies while you go for the coding round or while you go for technical round. So yes, if you would cover graphs, it would be great. And apart from that, I would first of all suggest you, Priyam, that you could go for algorithm section in more deep, because algorithm section is something where which comes whole of your logical thinking, right? You just need to
right,
figure out, suppose if I say you any question, right? So suppose if I say find a duplicate element in an array, right? So you would think that, okay, I could use a hash map for this, right? But the best solution would be like you could use other concepts, Zohar concept or something like repeated element, whatever, and which has not been repeated in an array, right? Because that gets remained while other elements get cancelled out, right? So you just need to see in this way, you just need to figure out in this way that okay, I've been asked this question, so how can I solve? First, you thought of a concept of hash map, which comes under the data structure, right? And then you
hmm,
can see that hash map takes, space complexity of big of n. So you can just figure out that, yeah, in terms of space, I need to optimize this. So then there comes the concept of XOR, where you can just go it with the O of n. You just need to traverse the array once, and you can just find the one element which hasn't been repeated in the array, like because all others get cancelled. So this way you can just plan out. You just need to think on how you need to proceed a particular problem statement, right? So there's nothing as such particularly what you need to prepare for DSA. It's everything is important. So as I said in this webinar before also, that there is not any predefined syllabus for data structures or algorithms. You just need to be good in your logical thinking, right? So this happens when you practice a lot of questions. So yes.
perfect. So moving on to our next question, this is from Manohar Yadav. Sir, a foreign CSE student, what subject should be perfect for placement? So any advice or suggestion for him?
For while you are for an CSE student, okay, if you are in CSE student, then it is very easy for you, right? Because I had maths, more of math than computer science in my course, and it was a bit difficult for me to self study on these particular topics and to prepare for my placements, right? So for CSE student, it is the syllabus in Indian colleges are designed. I don't think so there is any drawback. Of course, there needs to be added some new concepts on ML, data science, those who are interested for that.
Hmm.
But fundamental things which counts is your uh, operating systems, database management systems, computer networks, and sometimes yes, software engineering is very important, because some companies ask out of the box questions, like what is black box testing, or what is white box testing, right? So these questions, for these particular questions, you need to be good in software engineering, because while you're working in software development team, right? So before creation of any product, there is a software requirement given to you, and that needs to go through a lot of steps, which is called software development life cycle. This you will study when you go through a software engineering subject. So these are the small things which are very important for a software developer also to know, apart from the product manager. Of course, he or she must be knowing more on this, because they have to manage the whole software cycle. But you also need to be good at these subjects. So I would again repeat that operating systems, DBMS, computer networks, and software engineering. Most of the student ignore software engineering, but it is also an important part. So and you can absolutely find all these free articles on Geeks for that. You can prepare on and you can just make notes on that, because making notes is a good practice. You just because during interviews time you can just see whatever notes you have created, and you can just get through it, and it will help you a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Now, next question is from Nishant Agarwal. What should be the strategy of practicing DS and algo questions?
Okay. So the first strategy you should go upon, like I would suggest, there is a book called GAV Pi. It, you can just order it on Amazon or Flipkart, anywhere. Okay. So that is, if you are very new to data structures and algorithms, you just read that book, because that book is whole theoretical, and that book has a lot of algorithms. Now what algorithm means, it is not the code, it is the steps which you need to follow to create the code, right? Like it is in written in words, like create an array of size and this way. So while you read these algorithms now, you can just think that okay, we are proceeding this way, we are creating an array, we are giving elements to it, so it is working in a predefined manner. Like you can just plan out on your own that okay, I need to use this, or I need to make this extra in my code add. So I need to add this extra in my code, right? So while you are preparing for DS Algo, I would suggest go for GAV Pi. It is a good book. And after reading that whole book, you can just go for another book, which is by Narshima Karumanchi. I mean, it was Data Structures and Algorithms is a book. So while you read that book, you what now the next step comes, that you should be good at writing codes. So that book actually teaches you how you can write codes. And of course, you need to practice a lot of questions. For that, you can go for platforms or Geeks for Geeks, Lead Code, anywhere. They have a lot of collection of questions. And the main thing about DS and Algo is that you need to practice and practice and practice. I know that as I faced in my initial days, that I couldn't solve any easy questions as well. So that was a bit, discouraging for me. But that will happen, and you can, okay, if you're not able to solve, just look into the solution. There's not an issue in this. There's not a big deal. You can just look into the solution, and then you can see that, okay, where you are wrong. Because if you get the point that you were wrong here, and that will help you a lot to solve the particular, like something next question which comes up with the same concept, right, which you saw the solution.
Hmm.
So for the next question you can practice it, that okay, I made this mistake in the previous question, so okay, I won't do it here again. So I would figure out that what would be my steps. So the best strategy would be go through the theory first. Theory, be it any book, but I would suggest GAVPI and Data Structures and Algorithms by Made Easy by Narshima Karumachi. And then you can go on for solving lots of questions in Geeks for Geeks, Lead Code. These are these were the two websites where I mostly practiced on, and Hacker Earth I practiced. So these three websites were the most and I would say that uh, during my preparation I didn't focus on competitive coding. I'm very bad at it, I would say, honestly. I don't mind saying it, because competitive coding, I thought that it needs a lot of good, you should be good in logical thinking, very good, and you should be good in maths as well. I'm not that good in maths. I would say this. And so I'm not good at of course competitive coding. So I thought that I would be focusing more on data structures and algorithms, and the questions which are asked in big tech companies such as Amazon or some other Microsoft companies, right? So solving those questions is not uh, like you should not feel inferior that okay, you are not able to do competitive coding. You are just solving basic data structures questions, because basic data structures questions are the questions only which will be asked to you in interviews. The first round, when
Okay.
you read the question in the first round, now you many of the people think that okay, this would be solved using competitive coding. It's wrong. You can just solve it simply. You just need to be good in analyzing your space complexity, and the most important is the time complexity. So these both can also come while you are solving core data structures and algorithms problem, right? So this should be the strategy. First go for theory, then practice as many questions as you can.
Perfect. Now, as we are running short of time, so let's quickly take up one question now. Just last question, that is, through which extent databases or OS are required for it? This is a question by Anurag Chaturvedi.
Okay, so I would say, Anurag, that in databases and OS, you need to be good in what is in OS, particularly talking what is indexing and what is paging. These all concepts, core concepts of memory management, your process synchronization, right? Don't give a lot of stress on basic concepts. Just go for core concepts: memory management, process synchronization, right? and also the algorithms in OS, which are page replacement algorithms, and also the process scheduling algorithms, right? So these algorithms along with code have a good command of them, because some companies also go for LRU cache programming. They will give you that design and LRU cache, and they will just ask the code. There some of companies also ask algorithms, and they just leave it, but some companies also focus on the coding part of that. So be good in
Okay.
algorithms and be good in theory both, along with the code. And talking about databases, just know the acid properties of database, and how you can, what are primary key, foreign keys, and the core concepts. What is normalization? This is very important topic where companies ask question normalization, right? And they may also ask you questions about NoSQL, that how NoSQL is good than SQL databases, or what are the new features which have been added. So just focus on the core concepts. You can just give a brief reading on introduction, but core concept should be focused more. Yeah.
Perfect. So that's the end of our Q&A session. So this is the last. This was the last segment. So now it's the time to wind up the webinar. Thank you so much, Swapnil, for this webinar and the insights that you've given to the viewers. So at last, I just want some advice to the people who are watching, to the students who are watching this webinar, so that we can wind up on the same note. Please.
Yeah. So I would only give this advice that don't be good in a particular thing. Be it if talking about studies, then be it problem solving, or be it logical thinking and all. You should be great at both. If you tell yourself a problem solver, if you count yourself as a developer, you should be good at everything which involves the CS subjects, or the extra knowledge which you can get, because everything is available in internet, and you can
Hmm.
just go through it. Like, you can go on every topic, and you can study as much as you want. Like, whether you want to go for any particular framework, you can just read the documentation. So apart from studies, be good in curricular activities as well. This was the same thing which I miss about my college. Like, I wasn't that active on various clubs or various events happening. So be good in that as well, because that will make you more enthusiastic about anything, and it will also improve your communication skills. Because what people usually do, that they think, I will study and I'll solve 100,000 data structures questions and I will crack the round. But this is not about it. You must be good at communication skills as well, right? So this also counts. So
Absolutely.
yeah, this is the thing, and this will only come while you are most active on your events happening around your college and the fest. Enjoy those
Yeah.
fests. Don't be like much as I was. Like, I used to be in my room anytime. Like, I was
So
least
this could be the this could be the answer to the question, that if somebody has this question in the mind, that how should we work on the on our com skills, then this is the
yeah,
answer, that participate in be active in the
yeah.
curricular
Yeah,
activities,
and
and
conduct
that will help.
as many workshops for your juniors as you can, because that will also enhance your knowledge, as well as whatever you have gained, you could give it to your juniors as well, because that also improves your communication skills while you are teaching in front of 100 or 200 students, right?
Perfect. So thank you again, Swapnil, for your time. So we've exceeded the
Thank you.
time, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
thank
And
you.
the session was really insightful. I hope our viewers got some amazing points to jot it down and apply in their preparation. And your juniors could also get some help through this. So thank you so much. And we'll hope to see you sometime again, maybe
Yeah,
after some years, when we're talking to about years of experience.
yeah,
So
thank you so much.
thank you so much and good
Thank you so
night.
much for this opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
So, hi guys. So, how was? I hope that the interview gave you useful insights, and you have jot down the information given by Mr. Swapnil Kant, and you will be applying in your interview preparation journey. So now, winding up the webinar, just wanted to tell you about our Geeks live courses. You could grab the course really soon, as the course has amazing features uh, to join. The first thing is that it's a live course with a limited batch strength. Batch strength is about 30 per batch, and it has complimentary access to the content of the DSA course that is worth rupees 5,999 at our website. And we have premium lectures by our CEO, Mr. Sandeep Jain. And at last, adding um, we also provide a training certificate for those classes to you, so that you can add it up in your resume, and that will add stars to it, and act as a plus point in your resume. So why what are you waiting for? The link of the course is in the description below. Just enroll it and polish your skills, and don't forget to follow us, and stay connected with us on our social media platform, that is Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Telegram, and we are new on Reddit. So do check out our page on Reddit as well. So we'll see you in the another section, another segment of interview experience, my interview experience webinar, with a new mentor, with a new company, so that you can jot down new points for your preparation. So thank you so much for being for watching the webinar and being with us. Thank you so much for your contribution in the comment section. So take care. Bye bye. Good night.